Obviously, looking back to last weekend, like I said the week before, I think that'll be consistent. However, we've got to find a way to win. Winning is the objective of the week, and going 1-0 in the week, and we found a way to win. I thought it was a good football game. A lot of respect for those guys. Felt like their quarterback was as advertised. I think he's a really good player, and obviously got off to a fast start. Got to find ways there to when we're moving the ball in the second half, like we were, to come away with points. We had touchdown, called back, and then it didn't even get a field goal off. We got to find ways to close out those games, and excited about getting back to work to do, on those things. Felt like our defense set the tone from the beginning. They played fast. Been proud of our team as far as just the competitive nature of this team and the excitement to play, straining, playing through things. For 3 weeks, it's been what you want from that. A lot of things to clean up and work on, and that's what we're continually doing. And so another great week to do that. Excited to be back home again for family weekend. Obviously playing for the wheel and playing SEMO. This will be the 9 years now of playing SEMO and Coach Tuke. It's been a great rivalry. Obviously with the schools being so close and what it entails, I think. Not every school is fortunate enough to have a rivalry, a trophy game. It just makes college football so much, more exciting for the fan base, for the players, for everybody involved. I think when Coach Tuke and I talked about it, I think, Coach Tuke and I are just in alignment of, how can we make the game have even more excitement, what we can do to create atmosphere and what's best for the players. Obviously my respect for Coach Tuke is been documented. I love Coach Tuke as a person. Obviously he coached me. I saw how hard that staff went to work, and I've shared that with our team. In training camp, I do this a couple times a year, make the players bring their cell phones to a team meeting, and either sometimes we'll text a loved one, your mom, or sometimes like a past coach, what it means to hear from a former player of the impact that they've had. And I text Coach Tuke. Obviously, we play each other and are competitive, but Coach Tuke has been a mentor of mine. Whenever I played, we kind of gravitated towards each other as far as leadership development and just a competitive nature. And I've tried to model a lot of those things after. I think the thing that I respected about him the most, and I think hopefully the way that I came to work every day as a player and have that competitive nature, like-minded people usually gravitate towards each other. And so whenever it's between the lines, I know he wants to beat me and I want to beat him. That's what makes this game fun. But a lot of respect for those guys and how they do it off the field there. So excited for a good night of college football here, playing at home, and we're excited to get to Saturday.
Okay, thank you, Coach. We're going to take questions, but first we have a question submitted by email. Dan Verdun not able to join us today, so Coach, he asked me to pass this question along to you. Coach, you said this early schedule would test your team. What have you learned about your team so far this season?
Yeah, well, it's been 3 weeks that have been 4 quarter games. You find out a lot about your team. Games that you just have to have a sense of urgency on every single play, or that team can beat you. And are really all 12 are like that. So for us, it's just the focus that we have to have week in and week out, staying just in the moment. Like today is Tuesday, just focusing on having the best Tuesday that we can possibly have, and knowing that our depth. I'm talking to every player on our team. Every player on our roster has a role, and they're going to be called upon at some point this season. And so we've seen that guys that come into the season that maybe didn't think they would be playing in the first 3 weeks. Now they're out there playing. I've learned that in my career that there's no excuses for your depth or who's playing. There's a win and a loss after every single game, and you've got to have your entire roster ready to go compete and recruit at that level to sustain that. So I think it's been good. I think we just got to continue on that progression and going into week 4 and playing good football.
Okay, thank you, Coach. We'll go to Matt Barney next.
Good morning, Nick. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Piggybacking off of Dan's question a little bit, to a lot of outsiders, obviously, this schedule probably looks as one of the more tougher schedules that you've had in terms of non-conference. With SEMO being ranked this week, you had Incarnate Word as a top 15 last week, and Austin Peay was receiving votes when you played them. As I said, as an outsider, obviously, it's looking like one of your tougher schedules. Would you agree with this? All your years of head coaching now being one of your more tougher non-conference schedules?
Well, I think, I mean, we're used to a tough schedule. I mean, when you play in the Missouri Valley, it's 8, tough games. And so I think, as far as 12 months out of the year, you're preparing for that. And, this is a 12 week season. We've never scheduled a lower level opponent in my time here. And so we've had tough schedules before. Last year proved to be a tough schedule as well. A bowl team in Northern Illinois, SEMO and Austin Peay, and then our league. So I think we're used to that. That's the way that we've scheduled. I think that testing your team in the non-conference, scheduling ranked opponents is just the philosophy that we've had. And every year having SEMO on there and the competitive teams and the good teams that Coach Tuke has fielded, it always creates a tough schedule.
Obviously, people want to know about the status of your playmakers, DJ, Sean. What can you tell us about them? Are they going to be available this Saturday? And then also the ones that left that maybe don't get as much attention as Sean and DJ.
Yeah, DJ will have surgery tomorrow on his hand. Obviously, you know, I feel for DJ. Obviously, he had a big game and what we knew he could be, and to break his hand really on a just kind of a freak deal, and that's part of the game. I think when you do this for a while, I think ultimately, as coaches, we've been in this position, but you feel for the player. DJ has been A+ as far as just the young man that DJ is and the competitive spirit that he has, and just his demeanor has been really fun to be around. So you hate it for him, his family, his mom. There's some disappointment there. I think there's a chance that we get him back the season at some point, but he will have a small surgery tomorrow, so we'll be without him for the foreseeable future here, which obviously gives a great opportunity for Hunter. We've said that all training camp. Everybody in this building is super confident in what Hunter Simmons can do, and it gives them an opportunity to go out there and show that. As far as the other guys go, LaShawn has like a grade 1 ankle sprain, is out moving around. And then everybody else that came out of the game, there's quite a few cramps. Tay on the return had a hamstring, went down. He was back out there catching punts today, moving around pretty good. So really, DJ was the most significant injury of the night.
DeLaurent for SEMO. I mean, you know him well. He's one of the top quarterbacks in FCS football. You saw another one of the top quarterbacks in FCS last week. How do those differ, and how well does your defense match up with DeLorean, especially since you know him so well?
Yeah, a lot of respect for him. Just even knowing Coach Tuke and knowing, finding out about him, just who he is as a person and the leadership, a lot of respect for that kid. Really good player. Honestly, a lot of similarities from the guy that we saw last week. Big, strong kid that can make all the throws, has great command of the system that he's running, as far as where to go with the ball, getting the ball out, leading their team, not getting rattled. Obviously, we saw a good one last week, and they're really similar in size and just kind of how they play the game. And so it's going to be a big test. I mean, for us, obviously we've played him a couple times, but I mean, it doesn't get any easier when you've played them multiple times. I mean, they're still they get better with age, especially at that position. And so we're preparing and expecting, um, a really good football player, and that we just have to. I think it goes to same as last week. Powered offense, a lot of good skill players, similar to this week. All you can do is go and prepare and be your attention to detail throughout the week and the preparation, so then you can go out there and play well on Saturday.
And finally, Coach, I know you talked about this in your opening statement, but how has the addition of the Wheel Trophy affected this matchup since 2022 when you and Coach Tuke kind of brought this into this matchup?
I don't know if the wheel changed anything. I think, we're trying to win every game, and it's always been a rivalry. But the wheel just kind of adds something fun to the game. But as far as what it's added, I think we don't prepare any differently. We don't do anything differently as far as that goes. There's just something at the end that you get, and let's you're playing for that last week and playing for a conference championship. There's not a lot of games that you get something after. Um, during the regular season. So a lot of schools do these things, and I think when hopefully whenever I'm long gone from here and Coach Tuke's gone from there, that this is just a tradition that you can look back and know that we had a hand in getting that thing started, and something that the fan bases and the schools can have a lot of pride in.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Matt. And let's go next to Bucky Dent.
Good morning, Nick. How you doing?
Good, Bucky. How are you?
Doing all right, thanks. Oh, since you brought up Hunter, just his knowledge of the system, his arm and all that. What from your perspective, what makes you positive that he can come in? There's not going to be any drop off from what DJ was doing last week.
I don't know if there's any guarantees in anything in competitive sports. Just his time on task here. I mean, he's been here for 4 years. We know exactly what Hunter can do. Obviously, making his first start. But he's got a ton of ability, and he does have unbelievable grasp of our offense and what's being expected, and knowing what everybody's job is on the team, from up front to receivers. So you feel confident as a coach with your game plan. There's different scenarios. You play your backup, and you got to maybe scale some things down, or what they're comfortable with, or what they can do, or maybe they're new, and you got to change some things up. For us, it's just same as, and it's a kid that's been here and can operate everything that we can do. Obviously, they're not identical players, so it's gonna be different as far as Hunter and DJ. A lot of the same skill sets that they have, especially throwing the football. Hunter's an athletic kid that can run. I mean, you saw that when we got into the game, when he got in there, when the first couple of plays was, a quarterback run. So, he can do all those things as well. And we'll have full confidence going into the game with Hunter.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that too, since you brought it up. First thing I immediately noticed about the offense when he came in, like you said, there was nothing different about it. And you mentioned it. Is he a better how much of a better runner he is than maybe some people might give him credit for?
Well, I think a lot of people have seen him, so a lot of people don't know. You know, I mean, this is a kid that, played every sport in high school, starter on some really good basketball teams. He's an athletic kid. He moves well in the pocket. Um, yeah, I mean, he's a good quarterback that we have a lot of confidence in, and what we do, how we go about things isn't going to change.
Yeah, and you talked about DeLaurent and what he's done there the last couple of years. With Geno Hess gone at SEMO, has their offense kind of changed to more of a passing offense? And if so, do you try to scheme for them any differently than maybe you did the last couple of years?
Well, I don't think I'm gonna get on here and talk about how we're scheming them up, but the I think that you've seen philosophy. I can't speak for them. You got to run the football to be able to control the game, but he's obviously proven to win throwing the ball over 60 times in a game. So there's no hesitation to go put the ball in his hands and go win football games, and he's earned that right. So we've got to be sound and stopping the run, and stopping the pass. I mean, and so um, I think as coaches, you're gonna put together the best plan, whatever that is. The goal is to win. Everybody wants to be balanced or this or that. It's about winning football games, and whatever the best plan is to win, that's what's going to happen.
And one more thing before I let you go, when you look at what's happened with the field goal attempts the last couple of weeks, how do you guys go about fixing it to get the operation you want to let Paul be able to do his thing?
Yeah, it's just got to get fixed. Bottom line, it's about execution and the snap, the hold. We've had a combination of things there, and so it's about just doing. And we got confidence in those guys to go out there and do it. We see it done in practice, but it's got to happen on Saturdays.
Thanks, Nick.
All right, appreciate it.